Hi everyone, this is Nicole Preston from Impact of Policy on Addiction, and this is my infographic assignment for this course. So this is my infographic. It is on the alternatives to incarceration. Alternatives to incarceration is any kind of punishment other than the time in prison or in jail that can be given to a person who commits a crime. And there's a lot of discussion about if other forms other than incarceration is effective on those, specifically on those, which is what I create the infographic for, is those with nonviolent drugs crimes. So the one alternative method that really sparked my interest on creating this infographic was drug courts. It's kind of a new concept to me. I've just, fairly recently learned about them. But drug courts can help participants recover from use disorder with the aim of reducing criminal activity. There are specialized court docket programs that help criminal defendants and offenders, including juvenile offenders and parents with pending child welfare cases, in order to have an alternative. Not everyone. It's never optimal to be sending someone to prison or jail over something, especially as nonviolent drug crimes. Um, so there's also family treatment drug courts that are alternatively known as dependency drug courts or family drug courts. They use multidisciplinary collaborative approach to serve families who require substance abuse use disorder treatment and who are involved with the child welfare system, which is a big percentage of those who suffer with addiction. A common alternative, especially in the South, is fines for the alternative to incarceration, which requires the offender to pay fines, fees, and court costs that can be used to not be put into jail, and as a condition of alternative to paying the fine, you can also do community service. Community service is unpaid work by an offender for a civic or nonprofit organization, and it's kind of a benefit type situation, in my opinion, because not only are these people giving back to their community, they are also learning about other resources at nonprofit organizations, whether that be food pantries or women's shelters or any of the above organizations, and it also helps our community and avoids overcrowding of jails and prisons. And something interesting that I learned, of course, we all know that rehabilitation is a alternative for incarceration. They'll send you to a state-funded, especially those that are on like Medicaid, and some who have disabilities such as Medicare. They are able to qualify and be sent to a state-run rehabilitation treatment center. And a lot of people attack drug addiction by like, why don't you just go to rehab? And you can see here relapse rates after treatment are 85%. Of those individuals relapse within a year of treatment, according to the National Institute on Drug Abuse. Relapse rate during treatment is 66%. 66% of those individuals return to drug use within weeks of beginning addiction treatment, according to the U.S. National Library of Medicine. And there are also a lot of gender differences in relapse. Men are more likely to relapse than women. 51% of women remain abstinent, while only 25% remain sober after treatment. And a lot of people just pose this as, I've heard a lot of people say, wasting tax dollars, which I don't necessarily think is the case. You don't ever know anyone's story. Most common reasons for relapse include, drug-related cues, stress, negative mood, anxiety is a really big one. So another extremely common alternative to incarceration is probation. A lot of people, from what I've read, actually are on probation. I can't quite remember what the statistics was, but a lot of people do, end up on probation for these offenses. And probation can come with many conditions attached, including meeting regularly with a PO officer, a probation officer, house arrest, urine test, community service, and then a lot of them require participation in a substance abuse treatment center, which has been shown that, with a lot of these a lot of these interventions, it has been proven to be, somewhat successful. Because if an offender does not comply with the probation conditions, they can go back to jail if the violation is serious. Their, eligibility for parole or probation can be taken away because it is considered a privilege. So I just want to say thank you for watching my video, and I think that it was very helpful to the content that we learned in this class, especially because we are dealing with a lot of, war on drugs, and like a big part of war on drugs is how do you deal with the quote unquote like criminal aspect of it, drug trafficking and, usage and all of that. So I think that, exploring and understanding the, the outcomes of these alternatives is very important and applicable to this course. So thank you so much. Bye.